Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 here of My Life in Poland on Szpakowo. Beautiful map here located in Poland. Lots of Polish maps available right now on FS25. Seems like maybe there was a contest or something for best Polish map. I'm not too entirely sure, but it seems like 3 Polish maps come out and then something else comes out. But anyways, I really like this map, and I'm excited to get going here. So we did end episode 1 with a lot of tree work ahead of us. So I busted my butt and that actually took a lot of time to get all of these trees transported into the wood chipper and then dumped off at the sell point. That was a lot of work. So anyways, if we go quickly to look at how much we actually sold. So if we look down here in finances, you'll see that we sold 48,251. So today we get to put a field in here. We have basically, now, and I think we have now until the end of October to plant either barley or wheat. There is a decent cedar actually in the used section right now that we could get. But anyways, I think first step is we're going to. So I've opted to. I don't know how much I'm going to get off this, to be honest with you, and this might just be a bit of a futile exercise, but I think it's going to be good for us in the future. We're going to head over to the dealership to grab. I'm going to point out one thing that's going to drive me crazy, but we're going to do our best to ignore it. We're going to go to the dealership to grab a mower. There's a baler for sale, and then I've got a way to transport bales without loader arms. So at one point, while I was feeding wood into the wood chipper, the wood began to almost like, it reminded me of like a meat slicer. Like it started to thin slice itself, and it created about 40 super thin pieces of wood that landed on the ground. So it took me forever to get those things out of the way, but I can't for the life of me get rid of what looks like it looks like there's 3 slices just floating here. There's no collision on it. There is, when I bring up that sort of F5 menu to see all the different structures, I can see there's like sort of a box around it, so it shows that it's actually, I guess, something. When I bring up my chainsaw, now it doesn't do it like this, but when I go to hit, like when I hold Alt with lumberjack on to where you would normally delete something, and then when I kind of like mouse around, yeah, see there's a point where it like reacts to something, but then I can never duplicate it. And so when you go to actually delete something, usually what happens is when you lock onto something, it kind of changes your angle and then it starts deleting it. I can't delete these, so that's super unfortunate. I actually considered just redoing the entire map, but anyways, we're not going to do that. I'm going to do my best to not look at it, and then at some point if we can figure out how to get rid of it, then I will. Anyways, let's head over to the store. Well, actually, let's go over here first, because I did thin out the trees a little bit on our other yard. I didn't get rid of all of them though. So basically, so you can see now here, this is the, my parkour skills are not fantastic. So there's the extent of what we get to turn into a field. So, I mean, it'll be a decent sized field for what we have here. But yeah, that's that. A little dark here, first thing in the morning. So yeah, we woke up today with $75,000 in our bank, which is not so bad. And that's selling wood chips at the reduced amount, not at the seasonal high. Okay, so if you look to the left here, this is our land. So once you start working through some of the bushes, that was a piece of wood right here. Did I just see? I swear I just saw a log in the grass somewhere here. Anyways, I'm sure we'll find it at some point. Yeah, so when you start thinning out the bushes, you realize that there's a hill here of some kind, so I don't know what's under here, and some big these like, look at the size of this tree, man. These trees are so hard to deal with, or so hard to deal with. You have to slice them down into such small pieces. It literally takes forever to chip. So I kind of lost my gusto when I got under the canopy of these trees and realized what was actually under here. So I don't know whether we're actually going to do anything extra back here, but there is some grass that we can mow. And then obviously we have the grass in the field part here that we can mow. That's good. And then we may turn this field into whatever grain we decide to plant over on our main yard. We may do that here also. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you over here. Is it getting darker? It is 7:30 in the morning, right? Not 7:30 at night. This is ready to, yeah, okay, ready to harvest. Nice big thick grass. There's I think I think we'll end up going for the Batwing, the Bednar modded lawnmower that's on sale from the Gaming Joy mod. Reason being, I know we're using it on New Frontier, but I mean, A, it's for sale, so I always like a good deal, and B, I can set it up to drop swaths, so I don't actually have to go and grab a windrow. And then it takes out all of the bushes and everything too, which is good. And it's like 6 or 7 meters wide, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, I sort of have to do that. Eventually, if we get into animals, we're gonna have probably a big grass field or two, to make feed for them. So we're gonna want something like that anyways. So I might as well just get it now. Plus, I did mention it's on sale, right? There was 2 of them for sale actually in the store. So we wake up with 75 grand. We're gonna spend a couple bucks here. We as much as it's like, man, we should just buy some land right now that we have the money. Well, we do need some stuff because we got to put a field together, right? So let's go see what. 7:30 in the morning. I wonder if they're open. Well, Lex said he's a bit of a morning guy, so I don't know whether we'll see Maria in there this morning yet. But all right, well, let's go see what they're up to. Okay, so in here we have one Batwing here for, it's 41% off, so it's $24,000. This one's got almost twice the amount of hours on it, but it's also like, what is it, $8,000 less? Ooh, who comes up with these colors? All right, as long as I don't have to pay for any of the paint. All right, there you go. So for 16 grand, nothing extra. I kind of want to add the trash fan because I think that looks pretty cool, but it's an extra $1,000. So I don't know that it actually does anything though, does it? Is it just for looks? I mean, we are kind of liking the looks. So contrary to what I typically would do in that everything I end up is black or gray, we're going to go with a bit of a color here. Orange? How about orange? All right, we'll add the trash fan for $1,000. Why not? We got a little bit more money out of the wood chips, more than what I thought anyways. Okay, so in here there's also there's 2 balers, so let's just quickly look here. All right, so we have this baler right here, this Coloss baler for $5,300 that will produce 125 centimeter bales. All right, and then we have this baler right here, which will produce 125 centimeter bales. So that's basically the same. So where's that other one? All right, so we're gonna buy it like this. I went with the standard wrap. I think it looks like you can spend $50 more and get like a cloth stripe or something on your bales, but we're not going to do anything crazy like that. Okay, so I do want to, there's something like this I think will work for us for transporting bales. We can just clip onto the back of our tractor and I think anyways, if it works the way I think it's supposed to work, and transport the bales around. I don't really know what we're going to do with the bales for now, but I'll wait a minute before we do something there. All right, Lek, thanks so much. I will catch you later, buddy. Yeah, and like I thought, I didn't see Maria there, but not because I didn't expect that she'd be there so early, but I don't imagine they're super busy first thing in the morning, so there wouldn't be a need for both of them. Okay, I want to go dump this over at the yard first, and then we'll come back and grab the mower. Traffic, definitely, as I was moving all of the wood chips over to the sell point yesterday, late, like the first day of September there, traffic was getting a little wild. I think people were coming home from work or something, and oh my God, it was just insane. There was cars trying to pass cars. People were coming the other way, like... I'm not exactly sure what the rationale behind all that was for everybody, but they just went nuts. So I think what also, well, actually no, we won't have enough money because I think it was like 50 grand. There was that wood lot that came up for sale, but I think it was probably more pricey than we'd want to entertain. I was just thinking that if we had an opportunity to buy a woodlot and process the this is shades of the Maz series on FS22 for me, where once we got the taste of wood chip money, things went kind of berserk. Actually, when I started storing them and then eventually sold them off on a January, we had millions and millions of dollars. I think we had lots of money anyways. I can't remember exactly how much money we had, but it was quite a bit. So as I'm recording this, I want to say it's the 8th of April, but actually if I just hit this, I'll probably know. Yeah, Tuesday, April the 8th. And we got rocked by a snowstorm last night. So there's probably, I don't know, we probably have like 15 or 20 centimeters of snow that fell, and it's still snowing right now actually, which is absolutely ridiculous. We have, as you'll know, I'll live most of my life by motocross tracks. So our motocross tracks in a lot of the province of Ontario have begun opening. There's really epic tracks over on the Quebec side that we're looking at. Their opening weekends coming up sort of in the next week, but then we get destroyed by this snowstorm. Like, what the hell's going on? All right, this thing looks pretty sick. All right, so we'll go start with the corner lot over here. We'll get that mowed, and then we'll come back to our main yard here, because then once we're done, we can drop this mower and switch for the baler. Curious to see if the trash fan does anything when you're actually mowing. I wonder what that does in real life. It's funny, there's so many things in Farming Simulator which you probably never get the full value of because there's just no real idea. You have to physically go and test these things to figure out what they do, if they do anything. All right, I just want to watch the edge here because I don't want to mow into an area that I can't actually... yeah, we could buy this too. I don't want to mow into an area that we don't own. So it looks like the property line goes right up to the edge of our field. Let's see. So I picked mowing swather, I think. Swather mowing. So I think that should leave the swath. Yeah. This thing kills. The mods that Josh makes, the Gaming Joy, while very powerful, and in some cases depending on your gameplay or what your intentions are for your gameplay, some of them might be a little overpowered. Like the industrial sawmill, for example, is an amazing mod, but I think it definitely has its sort of place when it comes to sort of like what you want out of your gameplay, or what you want out of like your series or whatever. But like here's an example. So if I'm making a video, and in the case here, like I did. It's funny. I said I don't want to make money too quickly, and then we made like $50,000 selling wood chips. Well, you know what? Yeah, we sold wood chips. We sold them at the lowest possible time. We didn't necessarily use anything that was abnormal in regards to like the mod that we used. I mean, the wood chipper we used was something on the mod hub. It wasn't. I don't think it was overpowered in any way. I believe when you chip wood, it multiplies the volume, right? So you are getting a bit of an unfair advantage there compared to what you would get if you sold the wood as wood. Okay, it looks like our property line goes onto the road, so we should be okay here. And and I literally put in hours of real-time effort to sort of harvest the wood and then chip it. So no worries there. But like, if I put a placeable down, kind of like that industrial sawmill, which is amazing, but probably a little bit more powerful than what we want in this series. So we just kind of gotta watch sometimes what we're placing. But yeah, the suite of Gaming Joy mods are all very strong, and they're the kind of mods that you need, but you don't know you need them until you have them. Is that a good way to explain it? All right, so let me just get lined up here. I'm going to mow as much as I can, just so we can obviously benefit from the grass, but it doesn't mean necessarily that all of this will become a field, because I'm sort of half thinking, maybe we should be looking at this one section from the shed over to the road here. Maybe we should maintain that as a bit of a, maybe we should put some gravel down and turn it into a bit of a yard instead of a field. Because at one point here, I'm going to want to store some things, like, for example, wood chips. If I could put, there we go, if I could put down something that would allow us to store wood chips, that would be cool. So I can kind of mow right to the edge of the creek, but as long as the swath is not in the water, then I should be able to pick up the grass. Oh, here's something I'll point out. I'm sure somebody's going to mention at some point. So there are a number of extremely creative collectibles on this map, and this is one of them. These garbage bags, I think they're about $1,000. So yes, at times we'll probably want to clean up the garbage that we find, but I'm not going to collect collectibles for the money. If I pick up a garbage bag and it gives me $1,000, I'll reduce my money by $1,000, because I'm not really interested in getting collectibles. So the fact that wood chips are going to pay so much money, and they are going to be a part of our life as we move forward here, plus all the rest of the farming, it's not that hard to make money. And then if we can't just go and buy whatever land we want, it's also going to be hard to spend our money. I don't know. I don't see us playing the collectible game, but I do see us perhaps wanting to pick up some of the garbage bags in that. So that would mean we would just kind of use F12 menu there on PC and give the money back. It's crazy how dark it is still here. I mean, I guess it's September, but I have my lights on, front and rear lights on right now. Yeah, I'm happy we got this mower. I think we'll be thankful when it comes to a larger field. The one thing that was absolutely killing me on Oak Bridge was the large-scale contracts with the small-scale equipment. If somebody asked me to mow their lawn, I don't mind mowing it with this thing. I've got 5 meter working width, or 6 or 7 meter working width, and if they let me take the grass, we can throw it into swaths and then just go in there and pick it up. And we should be able to make a couple bales off of this grass anyways. And then I guess we just maybe store the grass. Maybe if we see a wrapper come up for sale, maybe there was one for sale that I just didn't even notice. Then we could maybe wrap the bales for some silage money. We're just going to be looking for all kinds of different ways to make money here. That isn't just cutting down trees, because that is no fun for anybody. I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad that I didn't actually record all of that. It was an actual nightmare, really. Which you can probably imagine based on the trees that you saw on the property. All right, so now the sort of interesting challenge of where do we keep things. Well, for now, let's just park this over here. I think this is going to kind of block the fill trigger for the what's that thing called, for the greenhouse, but that's okay. We'll just work with what we got for now. We can move things around. I got to get the trash out of the shed because it's sort of blocking. So I had a bit of a break there for a second. I had my oldest come to pick up a phone charger. He's got to go. So I think I mentioned before, he's been doing snow removal or snow blowing. Basically, he's been driving a tractor around this winter for a company doing driveways. So it's got a big snow blower on the back of his. I want to say it's a case tractor. 115 horsepower. I don't remember what the model was, but anyways, so today's actually the very last day of his seasonal contract. So beyond today, if I understand correctly, if they were going to bring him out to do anything, then they sort of have an hourly wage or whatever. So kind of anticipating that he wasn't going to have much more work to do. Well, then we just got absolutely hammered with snow, like I mentioned. Oh, come on, get out of there. So sure enough, on the very last day of the contract, they're out there cleaning snow. But I went and just kind of popped my head out the door for a second, and now I'm back in here. I'm absolutely snow blind. It's still snowing pretty hard, but it's super bright outside. I believe that will be our time lapse for the episode. I don't often run a time lapse, but it has been noted that that I don't do them, and somebody asked me if I could do them more. So there you go. So let's go put this thing back, and then we'll go figure out what Lex got over there for us in a bale transporter. Probably, like I said, it's just going to be one of those ones that clip on the back of the tractor, and then we just go around and move the bales one by one. We don't have a lot of bales right now, but well, what do we have, like 6 bales total maybe? I'll probably take some pictures of that engine hoist and throw it on whatever the equivalent of Facebook Marketplace is here in Poland. Probably it's Facebook Marketplace. Oh yeah, the door should shut. Let's park. We'll park the mower in there for right now. As cool as it is to look at. All right, you beast. I will see you later. All right, well, let's head over to the store and see what's going on. So that really gives you a good idea of what we're working with there. So I think that's going to be a decent-sized field. And you know what? Screw it. I think we'll just take the whole thing and make it a field, and then we'll just deal with the repercussions of that. Hopefully we get lucky and can pick up one of the smaller fields around here. I'm going to point out there's a little grass field over here that I really hope shows up in the roll at some point. It's right just across this little dirt road from the pond. It would be a good place for a silo, I think. Well, I don't know. It doesn't look very flat. I can see it right now. See the little grass strip over there. Yeah, maybe not. I was thinking this land might be good for a silo, but it's not very flat. So we will be looking for a cultivator. Here's one that just popped up in the sale for... It's 2.5 meters, but only $1,900. Do we need to be that cheap, I wonder? I'm kind of hopeful that when October hits... Well, okay, for now, yes. So here's the things we need. We need to put a field in. This is seemingly perfect, because this... It's funny, when you look down at the bottom here, so it says these machines are used to seed crops like wheat, barley, or canola. I'm pretty sure that's canola there, but then we have... spinach, grass, and beets. Is that what that is? So that doesn't look like it's a combination of any of the things that it says over here, except maybe just canola. This, I would have probably bought this, but that makes me a little bit nervous. Disc harrow. So I think we can put in a field with a disc harrow, but we need 220 horsepower. I'm just blasting through here to see if there's any type of bale transport that I didn't notice. I think I mentioned this before. Sometimes when you're in here, if you don't need something, you don't see all the rest of the stuff, and then you come back and all of a sudden it's like there's something brand new you didn't notice. Like, for example, here's a roller. There's a 6.3 meter roller. This actually could be perfect for us. $5,000. So we are, once we get our seeds in the ground, we are going to want to roll the ground, but we'll see. Maybe there's something cheaper. I saw this earlier. This doesn't actually tell me what the horsepower requirements are, this plow, so I don't really want to take a chance on something I don't know. Here's a cultivator. 5 meter cultivator, 180 horsepower. This thing's got 160 horsepower. All right, we'll go from the top. Nothing, nothing. I still want this. That's obviously just not what we're looking for right here. I would take that also. This is a good deal. Yeah, you know, probably just something simple like this. I wonder what the difference between L and R would be. It looks like the same configuration except for this. This probably won't even fit on our trailer, will it? Oh, I guess I forgot we have the front. We've got the linkage on the front. For some reason, I thought we had weights on the front. Shoot, you know what we should have bought? Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be rolling, if we're going to be wrapping these bales anyways, we probably should just go ahead and buy this now. Because we can also use it to transport. Well, we have the little bale transporter anyway, so let's just, yeah, you know what? Let's do that, actually. All right, I sold that little bale grabber thing. We'll just use this because we can wrap and transport. I got, I think I just paid $400 for that little bale transporter thing, and then I sold it for $339. So I think I just lost 60 bucks. Dang it. We're down to $35,000, and we have yet to put a field in, but we're, oh, don't break this thing already. Phew. But we're going to be able to wrap some bales right away, so that's okay. All right, so I'm not going to turn on automatic drop. We'll drop it ourselves. What? I didn't know you could do that. Control Y unloads the bale on its end. Anybody else know that? So normally I just have automatic drop on, so I never notice things like that, but that's pretty sweet. I think we had 3 bales over here and then 3 bales on the other yard, and that's it. So these are 3,500 liter bales, and we'll have to take a look and see what silage gets up to as far as selling price. But am I right thinking silage gets to about 200 liters per $200 per 1,000 liters, which would mean these could be like $600 bales? Is that right? No, can't be. $120 maybe that's it. So we yeah, we've been buying some stuff here. What do we have so far? We've got that trailer, we have a lawnmower, we've got a water tank, we've got a wood chipper, we bought a chainsaw. Did I say lawnmower? We've got this bale wrapper, the baler. Man, we got lots of stuff. All right, so for the few bales that we have over here, we're gonna just rip each one, oops, back over to the other yard. At least then that'll give me as much working space as I need over here to get the field in. I like to try to keep the bales as organized as possible. As you can see, there's no need for it, but yeah, so 3,500 liters each. So I guess that means we have 21,000 liters and a max price of about $120 per liters. All right, well, you know what? Let's go get this put away, and then we'll grab something to be able to put a field in. and we'll come over here. We'll expand the field that we have over here, and we will put in a field on the other lot there. It's only 10:30 in the morning. We're getting some stuff done, folks. All right, just in the store here. So this popped up just, I guess, since the last time we looked. So originally we saw this 2.5 meters for $1,900. 2.5 meters, eh? Then I saw this pop up. We have the horsepower for it. It's a 4 meter working width, but it's almost 10 grand. There was nothing really else to consider up here. But then when I pop over here to cultivators, like the new side. So this one here, I think we use this over on Oak Bridge actually to do some of the fine tuning around the corners. So it works really well. 3 meters for $2,500. 2 meters, 2.8 meters, 2.5, 3. So here's 4.3 meters. So what's this? This is basically 4 meters for $7,200. 6 meters for $8,200. That's got to be the play right there, isn't it? We have the horsepower. So 6 meters, $8,200. 4 meters, 9. Okay, well, that sells me. Let's go with the 6.3 meter Kivone. Let's call it the Kivone. And then you tell me if that was right or wrong. I'm guessing more wrong than right. Man, we're down to $2,600 now. Thank God for this tractor. All right, I don't think we'll need a weight. At some point here, we're going to come across something we're going to need a weight for. Yeah, it's a little light in the steering. I guess really when we do need a weight, it's going to be a traction thing. Like once we put this cultivator down, what's the traction going to be like? So it'd be nice to have some cash for when we roll into the month of October in case there's a piece of property that pops up that we want to buy. But I don't think we're going to have that luxury. I think it's going to be by the time we get through this second day of September and we roll into October here, we're spending some money here. We need to get some seeds in the ground. We got to get some. Well, we need a spreader. Oh man, maybe that means we got to buy that spreader that was in there. Because we're going to want to put some lime down once we get the fields cut. We're going to want to get some fertilizer if the seeder doesn't provide it. If the seeder does that, the fertilizer, great, but there's no guarantees there. I don't know. Okay, well, let's concentrate. Let's get this field in first, and then we'll worry about that after. So I think where I have it mowed across here, that's probably good for the amount of room we want to leave. Because we could potentially slide one more greenhouse next to the existing one, and then this should leave enough room for our little workshop over there. Oh my God, you can cruise along at like 10 kilometers an hour with this thing too. It's funny when you start these kind of playthroughs. Eventually, these small fields become inconsequential. Inconsequential? Is that a word? Because you end up with bigger fields, right? So it's like these small ones that were so precious and important at the beginning become far less important as you get further on in the gameplay. It's like a little grass field, or a good example would be like greenhouses. How important greenhouses seem at the beginning, and then you've already scaled up your farm before you even get a chance to get a pallet out of the greenhouse in a lot of ways. I think on Oak Bridge we would have sent the environmentalists into a downwards spiral if we were cutting a field so close to a stream. Maybe we just haven't met the local environmentalists here yet, so maybe they're still going to come out of the woodwork and give us a hard time. I'll have to learn how to say back off in Polish. Before we go too far here, let's spend a little bit of money on landscaping. Because there's a pretty significant bump right there. I mean, this is more of just a side hill, but if I can smooth it out a little bit, then that's going to make our lives easier, especially when we're trying to come in and harvest. All right, let's give this a shot, and then we'll see if we've gone too far or not far enough. I'm assuming that it'd be telling me if we were trying to put a field in and it wasn't our property. Like it would be saying land not owned by you or something. But now we'll have to sort of figure out what we want to put in the ground. I can't say that I've harvested barley in any recent gameplay, so maybe that's the way to go. I don't know whether I'm assuming you get straw off of barley. I do like that as sort of the extra little bonus there. Even though we don't really have a use for it. You know, if we ended up getting a piece of land where we could put like a mini BGA down, there's some that ferment different things, so maybe we got a way to ferment some straw. Wonder how things are going back at my Uncle Pete's farm. I'll have to give Walter a call maybe and kind of... Well, I should let him know that I sold the stuff that he sold me. The trailer's gone and the truck's gone already. I'm sure he'll probably get a kick out of that. I mean, it wasn't like we made any commitments that we're never going to sell those things. So I'm sure he couldn't expect us to just hang on to stuff if there was no point in hanging on to it. But yeah, I wonder if we thought we'd be making moves like that so fast. This cultivator is amazing. I can't remember being so spoiled to have such a wide working width. But yeah, this is great. All right, last pass here, and we should be pretty much done. I can't think that I've been doing any little corrections along the way, so I can't see that there's much we're going to need to correct. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. I like that. What do you think? I left a bit of a wide driveway there, so we will paint in some grass again. But I did want to be able to get stuff in and out of here without really much of a problem. If you look, as this field across the road from ours starts to grow, we're going to have to make sure we're not destroying crops of our neighbors. So anyways, yeah, I think, and then I've left a little bit of room, perhaps maybe even to slide in an additional greenhouse in there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty good. Got this little cheeky little corner over here where we can, where I scammed a little bit extra. You know, probably get an extra 10 liters of whatever the crop is over there. Kind of snuck down the embankment a little bit extra here. And then I tried to respect this property line here. Let's see how much room we actually had. Yeah, so you can see the field more or less runs right up the side. So that's pretty good. If anybody knows how to get rid of this, please let me know. I will probably be over here time and time again trying to get this chainsaw to connect. Yeah, anyways, okay, well, let's head over to the other field. Enough of that. Come on, internet, help me out. Help me out, YouTube. All right, let's rip this row, and then we'll see what we get. Yeah, this thing cruises. So we're going to go right up to the edge of the mowed grass. So that'll be the field expansion. Yeah, this won't be the biggest field, but it'll definitely be a field. I mean, I think what's going to end up happening is if we have a bunch of these sort of smaller fields, we'll be, just running all over the place for the harvest. What that does, though, is we're going to have to make sure that we don't have anything that's if we end up with like a 4-meter header, for example, then we should be able to drive it attached to the harvester all over the place. But if we have anything wider, we're going to need a header trailer, I think. This might be a little challenging for a worker. But really, why would we use a worker on such a small field? Why wouldn't we use a worker on such a small field? I guess that's maybe the better question. Okay, so, I mean, according to this, it looks like our field is already slightly outside the boundaries, I guess. So I was going to kind of try to line this bottom piece up with it, but maybe we'll just take a little bit back. So easy to get greedy when you're making fields. So I went from being fairly bright, and now it's kind of around noon, and it's starting to get dark again here on the map. Hopefully it's not as dark as what Oakbridge was. I really didn't like playing in the winter months on Oakbridge. It just got way too dark. I think I made a comment in there at some point about how, you know, when you want to play a game, it should be fun and bright and enjoyable, but those dark winters were very much the opposite. Dark and gloomy, and I really didn't enjoy it at all. Actually, you can see the light changing. It's like the clouds are going over and we're getting hit by the shadows. We may put a silo on this lot, actually. That front piece, we may be able to fit a silo. All right, I said I wasn't going to do anything down here, but I might as well. Famous last words. Might as well. Shoot, I just made the mistake of looking outside. I saw somebody driving by, so I wanted to see if they were getting stuck. And then it just blinded me again. So I saw the city plows go through earlier, but they were just dropping salt. They weren't actually plowing. So I'm wondering if that's just because they have a salt quota that they need to use the rest of their budgeted salt allotment, so they don't lose it for next year's budget. But I didn't see them plowing, which was weird. There we go. I mean, that is making the most of a tight situation, I think. We have significantly expanded our operation there. So let's get this. We could leave the cultivator over here, actually, but honestly, I don't know how secure. So this side lot here, without having anything to lock, like we don't have a fence that we can lock up or anything like that. I think maybe we should just, like, I can't see the silage bales being a problem. I mean, the neighbor across the road has hundreds of silage bales in a stack, and obviously feels secure enough with them like that. So maybe we should feel secure having our 6 bales over there. I don't think somebody's going to risk getting in trouble for stealing for that that few amount of bales. I think for now let's just jam this in behind the house. I mean, it's basically just metal, right? So, there. Okay, it stopped wiggling. Okay, well, there's a spreader in the sale, I believe. So let's head back to the store. We're heading back to the store quite a bit. And let's see what we can do to get some lime. I don't know where we purchased lime from, unless we just buy it in bags or something from the store there. But yeah, I'm liking that field. That's good. I'll take it. All right, so we spent a couple bucks here. Is this the spreader that we had on Oakbridge? I can't remember. I don't know if it is or not. So there was one for sale. It had a 27 meter working width. It was $6,300, I think. Brazilian one, I believe. I think we're going to be back over here a couple times to get more lime, to be honest with you. But so it was twice the amount that this one was. This one holds 1,650 liters, so 350 liters less than what? Yeah, this is the one we used on Oakbridge. That was not intentional, but it's good value. So I mean, I was gonna while I probably could have spent the sorry. I could have spent the $6,200, I guess. Let's go to the other yard first. But I mean, you know, we would have had about 10 meters more working width. We would have had about 350 liters more capacity, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like a good value for twice the price. So I cheaped out a little bit. I'm just concerned that we're going to get to a point where I don't have any other way to make money. We're going to need to get something to put seeds in the ground. Plus, I still want to be able to roll the yard, roll the field, and that kind of stuff. Now, the good news is we have all of October still to be able to do that. So if we went knocking on doors to see if maybe we can mow some grass or something, then you know, that kind of stuff is available to us, or could be available to us, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to use the guided steering here just so I make sure I don't waste anything. Okay, or not. This is not recognizing a field. Yeah, okay, so this is not recognizing a field, so we're going to kind of have to guesstimate here. Well, oh man. All right, let's just do one test shot and see if this is 18 meters. Okay, I mean, I'd say that that's probably going to reach both sides, isn't it? I just hate wasting the material, but it looks like if I run right down the middle here, it's reaching both sides, which is a bit of a bonus for me. All right, might as well go fill up again. So that, what did we have? We had 1650. So that used roughly 600 liters. Oh my God, I gotta look. Sorry, buddy. Let's put on all the flashing stuff. And the one thing this is doing is making our tractor seriously dirty. So I think we're a little light in the front end here, because look how clean the front wheels are. I think they're just skimming the dirt. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna run in and purchase one more here. Guaranteed we're gonna be back here with a completely empty tank. All right, the good news over here is that it did recognize the field. So that was weird how it didn't do that on the other field, but that's okay. Can't have everything right. The fact that we could do it all in one pass really helps. So I'll have to remember that 18 meters equals one pass. It'd be nice if we had precision farming, because so I'll show you after, but when you look at the sort of the soil composition, or whatever you call it, on the PDA, you'll see that there's portions of it that are oh, I thought we were gonna run out. We didn't. There's portions of it that are fertilized on the other lot, like where there was grass. Like there's 16 liters. Yeah, there you go. Look at this tiny little bit. Anyways, let's go. Hopefully, we'll use the rest of the container that's over there. But yeah, there's portions of the other yard that are actually fertilized. So if we had, I remember with precision farming, you could set it so it would recognize the state, and it would use kind of variable. Oh, sorry. Oh, 1 second. Let me just point out. I got to get a hold of this guy. Who is this? Another guy named Walter? Are you kidding me? We have a farmer named Walter here too? That's funny. I got to let Walter know that there's a Walter here. Anyways, I ran over some of his crops. So there's probably about, what, $35 worth of crops right there I just ran over. We're going to have to get a hold of him somehow. Walter. Another Walter. Anyways, yeah, with precision farming, it would recognize whether or not it needed, you know, if you had the fertilizer spreader on, it would be variable, so it wouldn't put coverage down where it didn't need it. And that then led to lowered usage and money savings. So right now, I think if we have like solid fertilizer, for example, and I go over to that field, even if it doesn't need it, it's still going to get it. Although we're only in one stage, so I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's hope that we use this whole thing so we don't just leave it behind. Nope. 100 and... Oh, what? There's 19 liters left in there. Jeez. Sorry, Lek. Sorry, Maria. I don't mean to leave that there, but I'll be back. I just have no way to transport it right now. All right, let's get this last little bit done here. Looks good having a nicely limed up lawn, I guess. One shot here and we're done. I feel like I should just go, yeah, you know what, let's go. I got to get something to put seeds in the ground anyways. I don't know whether we're going to be able to afford something. $21,000. I guess we'll go find out. But Yeah, let's do this. Let's throw this on the front. And we can top this up anyways to get rid of that that pallet of lime that's sitting there. And then hopefully there's something we can buy that's going to work for the... I don't know what it is. It can be anything in our budget. And then we need seeds and fertilizer also. Well, let's get as far as we can anyways. And then we may have to go knocking on doors to see if anybody needs any help. We'll have to earn a couple bucks. Now, the one thing about this, so I don't have any... I may have mentioned this already, but I don't have any of the contract boosting or contract enhancing mods on, so we are subject to whatever the world wants to give us. Definitely not nearly as lucrative on this map as what it was on Oakbridge, but I also think that the money we were making over on Oakbridge when it came to a contract was almost ridiculous. Like, it was just paying us stupid money to do things. So I think based on what I see here, the dollar values are quite a bit lower, but also the fields are quite a bit smaller. So I would have had no problem getting paid like a half or a third of what we were getting paid over on Oakbridge. But anyways, I wasn't complaining at the time, so I shouldn't be complaining now, I guess. All right, as far as used goes, I mean, this looks like it would work. We have a spreader, so we could spread fertilizer with what we have. This is $18,000. It's a 3-meter working width, 165 horsepower, which is pretty much right in the sweet spot. You know, we do the 900 liter version. That gets us our 18,000. So that's $18,200, carries 900 liters of seed, and it's 3 meters. Oh man, I forgot about this. Okay, does this look familiar? I think didn't we used to use a John Deere version of this, like non-stop in every single gameplay? So 95 horsepower, holds 2,000 liters of seed. I think seed only at 4.4 meters. I think we can drive it. I don't think we need the additional transport wheels. They were like $1,200, but there's the best value, I guess. So that's only $12,000. So that's $6,000 less than that other seeder that we saw. And this thing does all the same. Oh, look, it says fertilizer and seed. So I guess that 2,100 liters there, yeah, I guess you can put both in there. So that's obviously what we're going to be buying right now. Let's go with the Valtra version. Yeah, it looks like we can get about 1,000 liters of seed for $800. Yeah, that's definitely the best deal. So I can always recommend to you to shop around when you're in here. Like, there's an $800, and I know it says winter rape seeds, but it's seeds, period. The reason why this is so expensive, we're going to go with the fact that it's mislabeled as a specific crop, but it's actually just a generalized thing. All of these ones. This one gets 1,050. All right, but then it pays to look around. Here's one that shows hybrid sunflower seeds, obviously mislabeled. $450, I'm getting 1,050 liters. Here's one, it just keeps getting better and better. $319, I'm getting 1,050 liters. Okay, well, we'll take that one. Lek was telling me that Maria placed an order for somebody and they had a bunch of these come in that weren't labeled properly. So let's take that. Now fertilizer. Yeah, okay, so I do remember. So with fertilizers, we can get down as low as about $500 for 1,000 liters. What? Oh no, that's lime. Never mind. Yeah, okay, so $500 for 1,000 liters. I just want to see if there's any 2,000 liter bags. But no, we're way up there already. Okay, so 1,000 liters for $500. Because I'm so cheap, let's go check the sale. Yes, there's 500 liters for $500. So we're already up 500 liters. We're up $374 right there. I'm thinking we are the true art of the deal. All right, so let's go to this Grossdorf brand. Oh, not only was it mislabeled, but it looks nasty too. Okay, well, let's grab one of these for now, I guess. Okay, geez, we're down to $2,600 or $8,600. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll probably ask Lek and Maria if they know anybody that might need some work done. Maybe with their help, we can book some work. Okay, so it takes a full bag of fertilizer and a part pallet of seeds. Okay, well, I think we're gonna put. Wait, let's go double check the calendar. I think, yeah. So it's barley right now. Oh, we could put canola in also. I don't know whether does canola work with this. No, we'll do barley. I mean, you know what? We put barley in, we can take barley out early, and then we can do canola in the next year. I've just never. Well, hold on. We'll check one more thing. Actually, we'll be smart about this. Could put grass in. Obviously, that's not very exciting. Or then wheat. So let's take a quick look at barley and canola. I don't really know what we can make out of barley, but we're assuming right now we're just cash crop. So barley maxes out at $379. Oh God, canola is twice as much. But I honestly, I've not really done barley. Does barley turn into, like, do we get more barley? Is it more plentiful? And we get the straw. Well, you know what? We're gonna plant barley. I haven't planted barley, I think, in a long time, and we'll hope for the best. Oh my God, look how wide this thing is. How we gotta get across the street carefully here. All right, get ready for a mess. Well, nobody coming, so we're good there. The nice thing is we can kind of skirt this back alley here, and then when we need to go to our other field, it's not a heavily traveled or maybe traveled at all kind of road. You can see why they put the transport wheels on it. We don't want to run over anybody else's crops. So I have crop destruction everywhere on, I think is what it's called. So I can destroy crops in fields that aren't ours. Bonus, eh? So I do want to be careful not to really piss off all my neighbors by killing all their crops. Ooh, look at this, is tight. All right, well, I guess you're going to tell me what you thought about it anyways, but we had one time lapse on here. We may as well have one more. Oh my God, look at the tires. What the hell? We're going to be... Actually, look at wow, that's insane. So the amount of lime that's getting picked up by the tractor tires, but not the cedar tires is a little wild. All right, let's see. Do we have to turn this on? Okay, there's another bit of a marathon. So I did switch to canola for this field. In the end, I figured, well, you know what, why not, right? We're over here. We might as well... It's not going to hurt us at all. We can use the same harvester, which is fine, so we don't need any extra equipment there. But yeah, I just figured that kind of made sense. Okay, so we should probably go and try to top up the seeds to hopefully use what's left in that pallet. But driving down the main road could be absolutely the dumbest idea that I've ever had. Let's see how it goes. Come on, hurry up. What we don't want to see are cars coming the other way. And if they do come the other way, it'd be nice if they pulled into a driveway or something. I mean, I got my lights on, I got my flashers on, my beacon. Oh, please, 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 please. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Shoot. Oh, and there's somebody behind us too. All right, well, this day was definitely fun while it lasted. The worst, like, so now I'm going to go to the locals and try to ask for work. And this is what's going to be probably in the newspaper. All right, I think I saw like 5 different cell phone cameras out, so I'm guaranteed I'm on every Facebook page. Jeez, everybody's local group of why this farmer just screwed us up. And I didn't even use the full pallet. Okay, well, we'll have to figure out a way. Is it light enough that I can pick it up? It's 85 kilograms. I should be able to pick that up, but maybe they're just saying it's too awkward. All right, well, whatever. We'll figure out a way to get it. Hoy vey. Okay, well, you know what? I think maybe we'll have to maybe consider spending the extra money for the transport wheels, because let's say, for example, somebody wants us to. I don't know that anybody's going to want us to do any work now, but let's just say, for example, somebody wants us to put seeds in their field. I can't get to half the fields if I can't drive down the road. So I think the smarter thing would have been spending it was $1,500 though to get the extra option to transport this thing. But anyways, all right, well, we're down to $8,600, and there are 2 key things that we really should get done as quickly as we can. One of them is oh god, we'll just back this up behind that trailer for now. One of the key things that we need to do is get these fields rolled for that extra bonus. It's like 2 or 3%, so it's not as bad as spraying. So I think what I want to do first is figure out if we can even get a sprayer, because then we can spray herbicide, make sure that we don't have any future weeds, and then we'll figure out how we're going to roll these after. But let me go in the catalog and see what there is. I was just on the phone with Maria, and unfortunately, I can't remember what the roller was they had over there, but they did sell that, so that was no longer available. There was no sprayer short of the one we really used on New Frontier, which is like 30 grand. So we're a little ways away from that. Now, I mean, when it comes to spraying for spraying herbicide, obviously with weeds we could do that later. Right, we can always go back into the field later if the weeds start to grow. I don't have anything with skinny tires. I'm pretty sure I can't put skinny tires on the Volvo, and I know, well, I say I know, but I'm pretty sure I can't put skinny tires on this. So I'm not really sure what we would do about that. So now is the best time to do it. Unfortunately, or actually fortunately, you know what? I mean, even so, canola, this is the last month for planting canola. So when we roll into October, we're going to see some germination. But the barley will likely still be in the dirt. Whoa. Okay, this doesn't look good. All right, so I understand that we can roll crops with this, but how do I transport this if it just drags on the ground? Oh, maybe that's better. Now it looks like it's... When I first picked it up, it was dragging pretty low. Anyway, so I think what we're going to end up doing, let's get our fields rolled. And then we'll start talking to, I might call up Lek and Marie and see if maybe they want to pop over and check the place out. And then maybe at that point I can ask them if they have any hookups for me for work. Because now, well, we have a roller, so if somebody needed their field rolled, we can do that. We can mow, we can bale wrap, we can bale, as long as it's round bales. We can cultivate, so we have some equipment now. If there was somebody that needed us to do something, so because I think from this point on we're gonna need some money so we can buy a sprayer, and we're gonna need a bunch actually. Not to mention we have $5,500, and we're gonna make an interest payment when we wake up in October, probably to the tune of about $400 or $500 plus. We have property maintenance, which is probably going to be a couple $100. So we'll have some expense when we roll into the next month. Plus, I don't have any beer in the fridge, so maybe they'll bring some over. Wait, let's jump out and just double check this. So is it, I like the yield bonus, 75, 72. So we get 3% or whatever. I like, I think it looks like you can see the fertilizer in the ground, the little white flecks. I think that's actually kind of cool. Oh, it's getting dark, 3 o'clock, and kind of need all the lights on already for this. I mean, other than the fact that we're gonna have to drive through these fields again with a sprayer and make tracks, the fields are gonna look pretty good, being nice and rolled. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do now, folks, is get this rolled. Like I said, I'm going to invite Lek and Maria over. Hopefully they can come over because I am going to need their help to kind of get to know some of the area here and hopefully find some work so we can make some money. And otherwise, maybe what we're doing is grabbing those the large trees that we didn't already cut down and and cut them down to get the wood chips and then generate some money that way. But I kind of wanted to leave those trees up. But anyways, yeah, I think we're going to leave that there. This has been episode 2 here on Szpakowo here in the, I want to say it's like the northeastern edge of Poland. Anyways, beautiful country. Enjoying myself. Surprised that it's getting so dark so early. Not exactly happy about that, but it is what it is. And yeah, we'll see in the next one. So by the next time, this will be rolled and it'll be... Well, really, we just want to figure out how to spray, and we'll probably be doing a bunch of contracts. So, all right, guys, thanks so much. Take it easy, and I will see you later.